Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'd like to talk about the highs and low seasons here in Pattaya. At the moment we have just gone into low season really from February. The high season runs normally from November through to February, and that's the designated high season where they expect the maximum amount of tourists. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today. But in reality of late, particularly for the Westerners who have got their businesses set up, their bars and their restaurants, etc., to cater for Western visitors, it's been a bit of a hard time over the last several years actually, and the numbers coming from the Western world, Europe, UK, also America and the Australia, New Zealand, etc. The numbers have been well down on what they'd really want them to be to have a successful high season. Now, the poor high seasons does not necessarily affect all businesses actually, because I'm only talking for very poor, for the Western fraternity settled here in Thailand with businesses. But for areas like hotels, Thai food, etc., it's probably been a very, very successful high season actually, being that the majority of the tourists coming to Pattaya are probably the India people is number one, Chinese, Koreans, and of course Russians. Now, a lot of those people, well, they're all going to, most of them anyway, are going to need hotels, and that will ensure that the hotels are kept busy, and also the Thai markets and probably a lot of the Thai food vendors as well will be kept busy, because the Thai food is very popular with a huge majority of tourists. One thing I do find very strange, is that over the last, ever since before the pandemic, we've seen the numbers coming over to use the bars, etc., going down, and I'm talking about 2018, 2019, and since the pandemic it hasn't really recovered to a great deal, and a lot of bars, people have invested in bars, they've been hit hard and gone out of business. A lot of them lost virtually all their money in the bars, etc., and it's very, very sad. But what I find really, really strange is that there is still a huge number of people that are looking to get bar businesses set up and have their own bars here, and they think it's relatively simple. I think they think they've only got to get a property in a popular area, fill the fridges with beers, get a handful of girls to come and work in the bar, and they've got a success in their hands. If that's the way that the people are approaching opening a bar here, then they're destined for failure, because there's hundreds of bars doing that, and there's not enough customers to go around them all. I think to be successful, you've got to be doing something different in your bar, something different away from the majority of the crowd. Some sports bars work quite well, where they've got maybe a golf association based in their bar. They've got the TVs up, they cater for the Australian sports or the American sports and the UK sports, etc. And I think they would stand a bit better chance of being successful, not necessarily having to have beautiful ladies on the go and ready to provide whatever the customers want provided for them. So it's quite strange the way the whole system works, and the number of people that are buying bars here. But the other amazing part of the same thing is that many businessmen here are building more bar complexes. We've got hundreds and hundreds of bars, but they keep adding to them. And if you've got a customer base that isn't enough to go around, and some of these bar complexes that they're open have got a lot of bars in them. So they're diluting the customer base drastically, just by getting a few in each bar, making none of them very easy to survive. And as I say, I think Pattaya is moving away from the old Pattaya where it was Sin City, etc. There's still got the Sin City element for sure, but it's not as strong as it used to be. And with the introduction of a lot of India tourists and a lot of Chinese tourists and a lot of Koreans, that side of the city is not getting exploited like people would want to be. Although, you know, there's still a lot of girls around, and there's very attractive girls, and I'm sure a lot of the Chinese, etc. I've got Chinese friends, a couple of guys that I've worked with in the past, and certainly they take advantage of the girls' aspect here in Pattaya, but they're not heavy drinkers. They don't go into bars. They might go to some of these soapy massage parlours or a bit more upmarket and with a higher standard of girls. That's the way they're doing it. And we've also got, as I said before, a high number of Russians and also Ukrainians also. And obviously we know why they're here, and it's with the conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine. And a lot of people don't want to get caught up in this killing spree and have come to live in Thailand till such time as it's over, at least. So that's that. So just to wind up in this high season thing, you know, in reality for the people that have got the bars and the Westerners looking for that side of it, there's still a sizable amount of trade comes, I suppose, but not nearly as the same as they used to. And it's very, very much more expensive to do the things that they want to do now. These girls down in the bars, they've wisened up and they realise that their worth is much more than the pittance that people used to pay. And, you know, some very high caliber girls, and they're looking for high caliber money as well. So the prices have gone up, and it's really, really quite expensive now. And if you combine that with the main amount of Western tourists coming in are coming in for the festive season, Christmas and New Year, yes, you're talking about maybe a 4-week window or a 5-week window maximum from start to finish for the high season. And if you've got a bar and you're depending on high season to carry you through the year, it's definitely not going to happen. You know, so now we've moved into the low season here, and we're seeing a lot of the bars completely empty, and a lot of bored girls standing around wondering where they're going to get customers from. And of course some worried bar owners that are wondering how they're going to pay to keep the bar open. If you'd like to see just how bad it is at the moment, there's a YouTube guy here, Mr. David Strachan, Strachan, and he puts up 2 videos a week that he films on the same night actually, but he goes around all the bar areas on his bicycle, filming, showing the sort of custom levels that are currently in the bars. And for the last few weeks, it looks pretty pathetic actually. And have a look at David's channel, and it will certainly let you see the amount of customers we're getting from the Western world that are frequenting the bars. It's mostly expats that are doing it now, and obviously the numbers are well down. There's hundreds of bars and not so many expats that go downtown drinking actually, so it's very, very quiet. So normally in low season, one would expect if you came here you would get cheaper hotels, etc. You will get better prices in the bars maybe, but even low season is a major success for Pattaya. It's probably the best success story for any holiday resort in Thailand actually, because Pattaya are very, very clever. The council that run the city, in that, you know, the Pattaya is in the centre of Thailand more or less, and every weekend they put on some sort of big themed, function, concerts, races, sports dues, many things actually, you know, kite flying, bikini races on the beach, Thai Thai sports on the beach, various sports on the beach. And every weekend, take it from me that they manage to get thousands of visitors from all over Thailand congregating in Pattaya to take in the week's festivities. It can be quite annoying for us expats that live in the city, because from Friday lunchtime through to Sunday, late Sunday afternoon, the town is actually teeming. The city is actually teeming. There's no parking spaces. The traffic's horrendous, and a lot of people are like me. We never ever dream of going downtown during the weekend, because it's just ridiculously full. The bars aren't full, but the town is full, and it's all these foreign tourists, as I've mentioned before, and they're here, and also a huge majority of Thai tourists also get attracted down here from all over Thailand, and they come for the concerts and whatever's going on, fireworks exhibitions, whatever's going on. It fills the city up at the weekends. And this is very, very good for hotels, because a lot of the hotels get fully packed out, particularly the sort of middle range ones. They all get packed out for the weekend, and they can survive quite well on the minimal numbers that they might be getting during the week. But what it does do, it makes sure that they can maintain their price levels to a reasonable price level and not give big discounts. So it's a big plus for the hotels and some of the restaurants and a lot of the Thai businesses as well. Not so much, unfortunately, for the bars. And what makes it doubly clever, is in Pattaya we've got three main aspects to the city, which used to be totally not joined to each other, but as the city's grown, it's encompassed. We've got Naklua, which is the north part of the city. It used to be a fishing village, town in its own right. And we've got Pattaya Central, and then we've got Jom Tien, which was another fishing village. But now they're all virtually encompassed under the Pattaya umbrella. And the council who do all this organising, or whoever does the organising, does it very well. They manage to split the various functions amongst the three areas. Maybe not all in the same weekend, but everybody gets a turn or a part of the whatever's going on, and they're trying to maintain the business functions right across all three parts of the city. So I think they're pretty smart on that, and they do very, very well. One of the main problems that we do have is that the Thai administration, government, they keep changing things. If things are going well, they don't leave it alone. They for various reasons, they make major changes. And the one that everybody's talking about at the moment is the tourist visa. That's for some months now. If you arrived in Thailand, you got if you arrived in Thailand, you got 60 days on a visa, and you could extend that for 30 days, giving you a total stay of 90 days if that's what you wanted. Many YouTubers have kind of jumped the gun and said it's now been cancelled and it's all gone back to 30 days. Well, it's not actually. It's still the very, very same. It's still 60 and 30 at this moment in time. But the changes are being discussed. For some reason, they think that this 60 days and 30 days is encouraging a lot of nefarious activities, businesses working in the 90 days, etc. And there is talks going on about whether they should revert back to the 30-day visa and the 30-day extension, giving a total of 60 days. Well, but it's not been introduced as yet, and at this moment of time, it's still the 60 and 30, which is good. But if you're thinking about coming to Thailand in the not-so-distant future, and you're banking on this 90 days, well, don't. Check on it. I hope it remains, and people that want it can get it, but keep your eye on what's happening here in Thailand. Another problem that's been making itself present over the last few weeks is for people, that would affect people badly if they're maybe thinking about coming and settling here and retiring, you know, because to get a retirement visa, it used to be fairly simple. If you had enough money, you could just come here on any visa, and you could go into several of the agents around town, pay a fee, and they would sort everything out and get you a retirement visa, which in actual fact is, if you came in on a tourist visa, it should be impossible. You need to come in and get a no visa, which you can get in the country as well, I expect, but you should have a no visa, which gives you 60 days, and then you can come in and you can go through all the procedures to convert that to a retirement visa or whatever visa you're going for, an education visa or whatever. But recently, to obtain this visa, you need to have a Thai bank account. And in that Thai bank account, for the retirement visa and for my visa is a marriage visa, you have to have a set amount of money in that account. Now, this is Thailand, and corruption still runs true to fashion. And up till recently, you know, these agents could take care of everything. They'd get you a bank account. For a retirement visa, you need to have 800,000, I don't know, it's about 20 or 22,000 pounds, a UK $24,000. You need to have this in that account, and you've got to maintain it for so much of the year. And it's, to a lot of people that are living here, it's impossible. A lot of people that are retired here, they don't have that sort of money to put in a bank account. But what they've been doing in the past is they can go into an agent here and pay them the money, and the agent will arrange to have that bank account credited, get the necessary paperwork sorted out, and remove the money from the account again. So it can all be done, and money talks, you know. I don't know what the fees are for this. I tried to stay legitimate with what I'm doing. I've got a marriage visa, as I said, and for me, the money I have to have in my account here is 400,000 baht, which I've got that no problem, and I would maintain that. So I feel pretty confident, pretty safe on what I'm doing. But there is a lot of hokey-pokey going on, and you don't know from day to day if something's going to change, somebody's going to get caught with something and it's cracking down. And what happened recently is that the banks, with their whatever they were doing, people were having lots of bank accounts brought out, etc. And the government stopped. They said, right, no more foreigners are getting bank accounts at this moment of time till they sort it all out. Now, one of the things that happened that I didn't expect was that I got called into the bank, and I got called in, and I had to go down there and verify with my passport, verify my visa, and verify my place of where I live, and then everything was okay. I could carry on. So they were checking that my bank account was set up properly for the right person and for the right address, etc. A lot of the agents were using their skullduggery in the past to get bank accounts sorted. About a month ago, they were putting it up that they couldn't do bank accounts. That was a factor that was limiting the services that they could offer, because none of the banks would play ball with them. But I have seen recently one or two people advertising that they can get the bank accounts now. I don't know anything about it, but maybe that's easing off. But it was a big concern for a lot of people that wanted or might have wanted to retire and settle down here. So if you're planning on that, it's worth checking and you're planning on doing it through an agent, which means that you don't have the money to put in the account, etc., then just check what the problems might be. I think if you come here and you've got the money, the 800,000 to deposit in the account and maintain that during the periods that it has to be in there, then I don't think you're going to have much of a problem with getting your retirement visa to settle here, for sure. So how's our weather at the moment? You know, we're now in what's traditionally been the hottest part of the year, and most days it's absolutely baking hot. In the garden here, we get they say it's maybe 34, 35 degrees with a real feel of 38 degrees. It's absolutely baking hot, and it's very, very uncomfortable at the moment. And we've got a big function coming up in April, which is a big, big thing in Pattaya, a big, big thing in Thailand, and that's the official Thai New Year. And they're about 500 years ahead of us in their dating system, although they've reverted back to using the same dates as us, but they maintain their original dating system as well as the standard dating system. But officially on the 13th of April, that's the Thai New Year, where people go around wishing everybody a Happy New Year, Sawadi Pi Mai, wishing them a Happy New Year. And for Thai families, they get their elders around them, and they go around and they put water on their foreheads and water into their hands and bless them and ask for Buddha to keep them safe and well and happy and strong and have good money as well. But it's turned into be a right festival. And like in Bangkok, they celebrate the 13th. It's a one-day thing. So I believe. I haven't spent it up there, but from what I've seen in the past, it seems to be a one-day thing. Here in Pattaya, it's ridiculous. It can start as early as the 9th, but normally on the 10th of April. They can start getting the big buckets outside the bars and filled with water and large cubes of ice, etc. And everybody walking past gets a good dousing with water, whether it be warm water, whether it be ice-chilled water. And this goes on right through. Now, in Pattaya, it's organised that, well, it's actually in Chonburi, that the festival starts, maybe it starts on the 13th, but it's in different areas. It will start down by Chonburi and Liam Shabang and Sriracha, and then it moves up to Pattaya. It comes into Naklua, and there's a day for Naklua. There's a day for Pattaya Central, which is invariably the 19th of April, although the Thai New Year's on the 13th. Here they managed to keep it going for at least 10 days, sometimes 11 days. And it goes to Pattaya Central, and then it goes out to Jomtien and down to Satahip. So there's another couple of days after Pattaya have finished celebrating. Be aware, you know, it can be good fun for 1 or 2 days, getting soaked and fighting. They all bang these water guns and buckets, etc. And they go around with this flour, painting each other's faces, etc., and pouring it all over cars and making a right mess of everybody and everything. But it's good fun for a couple of days. If you live here, the novelty wears off. And I think even the majority of tourists come, they get fed up because their clothes are getting wasted. Maybe twice a day they're having to change. And it can be good fun, but it can be a little bit harassing as well. And you see a lot of people losing their tempers and things flaring up because obviously alcohol's involved as well, and everybody is having a fantastic time getting drunk and throwing water over each other. This is the expats and the Farangs, the tourists I'm talking about, particularly the Western tourists, who are traditionally the worst to keep it going. It used to be that the celebrations were scheduled to finish every day at 6 o'clock, but the Westerners can push this on to 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and it's just not fair on everybody. People have got to go to work, etc. It's you're running the gauntlet every day. But that's coming up in April, and it is a big celebration. So if you want to see it and enjoy it, then it's worth a visit. Expats, people like myself and things, people like myself, etc. I sometimes try to get away from it or go to another part of Thailand where they might have just one day and a lot of people go out to Thailand, leave the country altogether till it's all over. Go down to Singapore or Hong Kong or Vietnam or somewhere out of Thailand till the festivities are over, and then they come back and they can carry on living a normal life, so to speak. So that's a little bit of an update on what's happening here in Pattaya and what's coming up. I'd just like to thank those that have been following me recently through my health issues and the additional subscribers that have come to the channel. Everything's appreciated, much appreciated actually. So with that, I'll say to those that have watched this video, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll make another one very soon.